Tom, you have some recent meetings with rabbis and got some quotes from rabbis about ISIS, which is kind of fascinating.
Well,
could you share that?
Yeah, I didn't actually meet with the rabbis. The point that I made in one of the notes that I had sent over, I think, to, some part of your staff, was how ironic it is that while we see what's happening with ISIS and their apocalyptic vision and what's happening in the Middle East, and look at all these other prophecies like the burden of Damascus and all these other things that could unfold as a result of these conflicts, isn't it interesting that you also have people of other faith, including the Jews, who also believe that the Messiah is about to appear? And Jim, do you recall a couple of years ago I came and did some shows with you, and I think it was on the book Zenith 2016.
Yes.
But at the time I was saying, why did so many dozens literally, of ancient seers, you're a seer, why did so many ancient seers believe that the Antichrist would appear on earth in the year 2016? Now the Maya didn't call him, the Antichrist. They just said two great, terrible men are going to show up on the earth in that period of time. Jonathan Edwards, the great famous preacher, wrote letters at the university level in which he said the Antichrist will appear in the year 2016. Wrote that almost 200 years ago. We found literally dozens and dozens of Protestant university-level documents, books, at the library at Yale University and places like that, where the most prolific evangelical and Protestant writers at the time were trying to determine when's the Antichrist going to appear, and dozens of them said the year 2016. Said this at the turn of the century in the 1800s. But we also, when we did those shows that day, you might recall, we talked about the Zohar. Now, the Zohar, anybody that knows, the rabbi certainly is familiar with the Zohar. This is the most important work of Jewish Kabbalah, mysticism. And all of the Orthodox Jews in Israel study the Zohar. Why is that important? Because in a section in the Zohar called the Ve'era section, there's a subsection called Signs Heralding Mashiach, or the coming of the Messiah. And in this 700-year-old Jewish document, it says when the Messiah would appear first privately to the rabbis in Israel. Guess when it said that would happen? 700 years ago, it said it would happen in the Jewish calendar year 5773, which in our Gregorian calendar started in the middle of 2012 into 2013. Said he would appear, manifest himself to them, and then it said shortly thereafter he will start making himself known to the nations of the world. So what I was talking about with the Jewish rabbis, here's one headline for you. This is out of Israel. The time has come for God to reveal the Messiah, says Jerusalem's chief rabbi. And then here was one just the week before, another one of Israel's chief rabbis, Rabbi Kandinsky. Messiah could come this week, and was actually notifying the students there in the rabbinical schools in Israel. He's telling them, don't travel, don't leave Jerusalem, because the Messiah is going to manifest himself at any moment now. So these rabbis that study the Zohar, it sounds very much to me like somebody between 2012 2013 made himself known to them, and they believe that the Messiah, the Jewish Messiah, is here. They believe it. These are their top rabbis. These are not nut jobs. These are the top rabbis in Israel that are saying this. They're saying he could manifest this week. It's time for him to come. And but because we know that the Orthodox Jews rejected Jesus Christ, who might they be talking about? This would be Antichrist. Exactly like so many Protestant seers 200 years ago said, the Antichrist will appear in the year 2016. So we have a national election coming. It's a very important time. Isn't it ironic that the Jews are saying this? The radical Islamists are saying the Mahdi is about to appear. And you and I, as prophecy-believing Christians, are watching every prophecy from the book of Revelation that, Jim, you've been told not to preach from is unfolding around the world.